All right, welcome. My name is Kathleen Troust, and I'm tuning in from Iamsville, Maryland. And thank you so much for those of you who said hello. Oops. There, I was muted, unfortunately. Okay, let me start over. My name is Kathleen Troust. I am tuning in from Iamsville, Maryland. That's just a little bit north of Washington, D.C. I'm really excited to be here, and thank you all for carving out a little time to jump on tonight. I think you're going to find it very valuable. I'm going to overview a bit about our company, of course. I'm going to overview and do a detailed overview of our product line, and then close it up with, how you might want to get involved, and I'll share my story, of course. But I'll start with a little bit about me. As you can see in the picture, I'm a mom of two amazing little boys. They're the light of my life, and they're a big reason why I'm here today, partnered with this company. I have been in the health and fitness industry for well over 20 years, but really in fitness since I was 10 years old. My grandmother introduced me to fitness when she took me to Spa Lady, and I got the fitness bug, and I never stopped. I got a health science degree and then went on to become a personal trainer, group exercise instructor, went into management, didn't like that so much. Started teaching Pilates, and eventually went to physical therapy school and got my doctorate in physical therapy. So I've been doing that since 2005, specializing in a body of work called myofascial release and women's health. And I love that work. It's beautiful, it's healing, it's holistic, and I've been aligned with that approach to wellness for a long time. However, 9 years ago, a little over 9 years ago, I became a mom, and everything changed for me. I used to be a workaholic. I used to drive myself pretty hard, and I still never felt like I could get ahead financially. And as a private practice owner for many years in Washington, D.C., when I had my own practice, I didn't have a lot of freedom. Even though I didn't have a boss and I didn't have to have employees, I didn't have the freedom, because to take time off from that, to have that way of creating income, it was very limiting. So I took very few vacations. I drove myself to take more patients and more patients and more patients. And so there was a lot of burnout. If you've ever experienced burnout in your profession, even though you love it, it happens, right? And when I became a mom, I wanted to commit my time elsewhere, and I had no idea how I was going to be the mom I wanted to be, and be the entrepreneur and business owner I wanted to be, and the practitioner. I just really didn't know. And a lot of people probably have experienced that, just not knowing what to do to have what they want. So I went on to close my practice and just consult part-time as a therapist, but then my second son came around, and then I was really in a bind. My heart was pulled in two directions, and I was just stuck. I just felt stuck. I didn't want to be broke, but I didn't want to leave my children at that age. I didn't want to wake up in 5 years from that time and think of all the things that I missed, truthfully, and it tore at my heart. My realtor is the one that invited me to take a look at a business opportunity and said it just like this: I've got a business opportunity for you. So I had no idea it was in the health and wellness field at all, but I had been praying for something that I could do with some flexibility from my home. Really, I had just been praying for it. And they shared with me an ABC News primetime investigative report. If you haven't seen it, you can take a look at Biohack and Activate. That's a great location to find it. You can find it on YouTube as well. But Biohack and Activate, to see that ABC primetime news clip. Now, I had never heard of the term biohacking before. However, when I realized what that is, bio is biology and hack is a shortcut, right? So we're finding a way to hack our biology for optimal health. That's what biohacking is. So if you exercise, if you eat organic, if you meditate and do yoga, if you do anything mindfully for your health and wellness, you're a biohacker. We here at Lifevantage are biohacking through something called Nutrigenomics. But back to the story a little bit. When I saw this ABC News clip, I was so blown away. I was surprised. I had never heard of a term called oxidative stress, which I'm going to talk about. And I certainly had never heard of this product that could lower oxidative stress. And I was thinking, why haven't I heard of this if it's been around since 2005? So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about why you haven't heard of it and why it's really relevant. So I originally got very excited about the science behind this, the relevance to human health. I knew that nothing I was doing in my fitness world and health world was doing what this could do. But when I realized that this is something I could do in the nooks and crannies of my life and just share this information, which quite frankly, nobody would have to pay me to do that. If I truly cared about people, I would share this information. But there was an opportunity attached, and I jumped in thinking, hey, if I could just make a few $100s a month, that would be great. Well, fast forward 4.5 years, I was able to completely replace my income as a healthcare practitioner, and I had never done anything like this before. And now I'm in a position to be pretty financially independent at this stage, and all because we have a breakthrough product, breakthrough science, an incredible opportunity to create additional income. So that may be something you're looking at or not. I'm going to overview both the product line, as I mentioned, and the opportunity. So take what you need and leave the rest, and make sure to get back with the person that invited you. So let me go to that term I mentioned, Nutrigenomics again. This is the study of how nutrition impacts our genes and how they're expressed. It's massive. In fact, in the next 5 years or so, it's going to exceed 17 billion in the marketplace. 17 billion. And I'm going to overview the company, Lifevantage, and the product line that's perfectly positioned to dominate in this category. It's catching the attention of investors all around the world. And because we're a publicly traded company, you can see that. And today we are celebrating closing the bell on Wall Street. 4 p.m. today on the NASDAQ. Our CEO was there on national television. It was an incredible day for this company. So we've come a long way, and talking about nutrigenomics. So as I mentioned, it started back in 2005 with this ABC News primetime investigative report. And I'm not going to show it tonight, but again, Biohack and Activate, you can take a look at it there. It highlighted a biotech company that had developed a plant-based product, a nutraceutical, that could activate our genes to lower oxidative stress, an average of 40% in everybody. And in fact, John Quinones, who is the world recognized reporter, is the one that went in, took Protandim for 2 weeks, and his blood work was improved by 45%, his oxidative stress. So it was significant, and there's a story to that. But had you ever heard of oxidative stress before? As I mentioned, I had not heard of it. So I just want to make sure it's really clear what it is, why we have it, and why it's a relevant conversation today. Oxidative stress is damage to the cells of your body. Look at this apple. Left side, it's nice and fresh. Right side, it's browning. That's what happens to our insides. You cannot escape it if you're human or a mammal and you breathe oxygen. It happens. It's a breakdown of our cells and mutations. But there's also the pollution in the air, chemicals in our water, pesticides in our food, cell phones that we hold up to our body, car batteries, pesticides. I moved to this beautiful neighborhood to get out of the city a 1.5 years ago, and then realized, oh, these people use a lot of pesticides on their lawns. Microwaves, but even exercise, the level that I exercise creates a lot of oxidative stress. If you know any athletes or uber fitness people in your life, they're creating a lot of oxidative stress and breaking their body down at the same time that they're building it up. We breathe fumes every time we put gas in our car. Okay, so I hope it's just coming across that it is everywhere. Sources that create oxidative stress in your body and cause damage and breakdown, which is linked to everything you don't want. In fact, Dr. McCord, who is the formulator behind Protandim, says increasing oxidative stress is the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process. It's bad for the body, leading to malfunction and aging. So I'm just going to ask you a question. Would you rather have faster aging and malfunction or slower aging? Okay, so we're going to talk about how we can slow down that process. Now, you've probably heard of direct antioxidants or antioxidants, blueberries, goji berries, acai berries, your vitamin C, your vitamin E, your CoQ10, all of these are antioxidants. However, the problem is that we are bombarded and create so many free radicals every single day, 300 septillion, Dr. McCord says, that eating a blueberry is like taking Dixie cups of water to put out a house fire. If your house was on fire, you'd probably want more than Dixie cups, right? But that's what people are doing. And it's a huge market, huge. That's where people are thinking right now. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. Now, if you could activate your body's own endogenous antioxidant enzymes, like Protandim does, our flagship product, you're going to start putting out those free radicals a rate of 1,000,000 to 1 every second per second, Dr. McCord says. So take that same house fire, and you are now turning on the internal sprinkler system with a fire hose in every room, okay? Now consider this. Who could benefit from that? Who needs that information? And for me, 6.5 years ago, I was thinking, oh my gosh, this person, oh my gosh, this person has no idea. If my patients, for instance, could have a product in their body putting out the fire 24 hours a day when they're not on my table, they'd probably respond better. And they did. Not only my patients, but many other people. Okay, so who could benefit? Let me give you a background as to where it all started. As I mentioned, that ABC News clip aired in 2005, and $5 million of orders came in literally overnight. But this was a teeny tiny biotech company. There was no infrastructure. There was no marketing team, no customer service. There was a bunch of scientists in lab coats running the show, and they really missed the opportunity. However, doctors and researchers from all over the world called Lifevantage and said, we want to get our hands on that product, Protandim Nrf2, and start doing our own studies. And so you have Ohio State and American Heart Association, for instance, partnered up and did a study on heart disease and scar tissue and put that study out in Circulation Journal to all the AHA members. They've never done that for a natural product before. LSU did a skin cancer study on Protandim Nrf2, and the results of that were so compelling that it propelled the company to create a topical formula of Protandim. It's called Troust Science. It's a Nrf2 activator, okay? The National Institute of Aging, which is a division of NIH, they study longevity. They look at supplements and all sorts of things. And in fact, they studied some of the individual ingredients in Protandim Nrf2 and found that there was no significant increase in lifespan. But guess what? Protandim showed a 7% increase in lifespan in the male mice. And so that's never been discovered before. The point is, this is not your average thing on the market. However, back then, they ended up putting this in the retail stores, like GNC, CVS, apothecaries, all over the country. There was no category or no shelf for an activator, something that could activate your genes. It sat in the antioxidant section, and nobody knew what it was. It was $50 on the shelf, sitting next to a $10 bottle of vitamin C. So, if I asked you what you would buy if you hadn't heard of Protandim, it would be vitamin C. And they couldn't get the sales over 3 million. In 2009, they brought in a business consultant who convinced the board of directors this had a story that needed to be told, and that the retail platform was not the best platform to get the story out. He says word of mouth is the most powerful driver to any consumer making a decision. And just think about that. When you are looking for a doctor or a dentist or, a good movie or something to do on Saturday night, personal referrals make a difference, right? And aren't you always sharing something that you're excited about? I know I am. So that's called network marketing. And they decided to pull the product out of retail and put it in a network marketing platform back then in 2009. And they grew from 3 million to 11 million just the first year. Now, fast forward to today, we're over a $200 million company. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the company as we evaluate 6 components for you to take a look at to see if this might be the right fit for you as an opportunity or a product. Okay? All right. So the company itself, just a little bit of background. As I mentioned, we are a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ today and the Russell Index. I took a snapshot of the last 6 months of our stock, so everything is transparent. I love that about this company because there's, out of thousands of network marketing companies out there, there's only about 15 that are public that you can actually see what's going on behind the scenes. Our board of directors includes people like Erin Brockovich, who is a world-renowned consumer advocate. So she just joined our board of directors. It's very exciting. We're in 18 countries today, so have that global market. And part of our global strategy is being partnered with a major league soccer team. Real Salt Lake wears our company name on their jerseys, and they play all around the world. And everybody knows that soccer is the most viewed sport around the world. So that's part of our exposure. And because our products and company are approved through something called the Banned Substance Control Group, Olympic athletes and professional athletes can take our products without a problem. Something I didn't know going into this, even though I've been in the fitness world for so long, is that a professional athlete cannot even go into the store and buy a multivitamin. They cannot do that. So the fact that we do have that with our products is huge. Very excited about that. The second thing to look at, in addition to the company, are just trends. And thinking about trends in business and what's happening economically with how people are creating income and how companies are growing. You have Uber, for instance, okay? Excuse me, which is a disruptor company. How many times have you called a taxi in the last year, right? Uber came along, made it more efficient. Uber is a company that connects a consumer to a service through an entrepreneur, okay? That's what they do, but they own no cars, and they completely disrupted the taxi cab world. Airbnb, largest lodging company around the world now, they own no property. But Airbnb uses a business model that connects a consumer to a service through an entrepreneur, right? Facebook, Amazon too. Amazon is a distribution center that just connects a consumer to products through a store, right? An entrepreneur. And that's what Lifevantage is. We're just in line with those natural trends in business where, one, people are looking for additional income, they're participating in network marketing, and it's a business model that's growing, connecting a consumer to a product or service through an entrepreneur. That's us. And if we just take a look at the trends in network marketing, this is directly from the Direct Selling Association website. You can see the increase in direct retail sales by the billions since 2008. You can see the growth there. It's continuing to grow. But what's exciting is the trends on the right here. Health and wellness is the largest economic trend in world history, according to a guy named Paul St. Pilzer. He wrote the book, The Next Millionaires. He was the advisor to multiple presidents. It's just growing. And you can see in the direct selling or network marketing industry, wellness is at the top, 35.6% sales by product category. And then lastly, product trends within the health and wellness world, okay? So just think about this, anti-aging. I don't even like to say the word anti. I like to say healthy aging and longevity is really the focus. Skincare, because people want to look younger, right? They want to age slowly and gracefully. They don't want to look older. Hair care, people want to keep their hair. Pet care, you probably know people that spend more money on their pets than they do themselves. Energy, right? People are always looking for a pick-me-up. They're having those late afternoon crashes. Starbucks happens to be an energy company. And weight loss, weight management, that's not going anywhere. These are all massive markets. And we have products, unique products, consumable products, and category-changing products in each of these of the 600 billion that it equals. So that's significant. And I will say that just another trend that's unfortunate is this financial trend of not enough. 75% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. That's what's happening. 95% of Americans can't afford to really retire at 65. They're picking up second jobs. They're continuing to work. So the truth is that there is a place for people to create additional income through those years so that we can change those statistics. So people are not living paycheck to paycheck and they can afford to retire and have their health. Here is the product overview. I'm going to do a full product overview for you here, but I want to keep this piece of it simple. Our company is about activation, not supplementation, activation. And there are 3 different genetic pathways that we can activate. The first one is the Nrf2 pathway. This is the pathway that was highlighted in the ABC Primetime News clip. Just think of it like this. You're creating more garbage men in your cells to take the garbage out, okay? The second pathway is the Nrf1 pathway. You're going to increase the cell's power and energy producers. It's the powerhouse of your cell, and as we age, those mitochondria get damaged, they don't work as well, less cellular energy. So Nrf1 turns up your mitochondrial production. And NAD in sirtuins is another pathway. This essentially increases the cell's critical functions to stay alive. We want those cells to stay alive and function longer, and it's like all the cooks in the kitchen are working hand in hand and making things work. So we activate these three pathways, and I'm going to go into more detail about each particular product. Protandim Nrf2 Synergizer. We call it a synergizer because the ingredients within this product and all of our products work in synergy. It's proven to lower oxidative stress an average of 40% in 30 days. That's what we can legally say. As a healthcare practitioner, the fact that I could legally say that, I could say that to the FDA, made a huge difference for me, because in the world of alternative health, and there's lotions, potions, and magic things all over the place, it's hard to filter what is real. So the fact that we can say that legally is huge. And the fact that there's 26 peer-reviewed papers and studies on this today at our National Library of Medicine, it sets it apart from anything else. The 5 ingredients in Protandim, you might be familiar with some of these terms: turmeric, milk thistle, green tea, bacopa, and ashwagandha are the 5 ingredients. And some people say, well, I drink green tea in the morning and I do that. It's not the same. Maybe you use turmeric in your diet. When they looked at the individual doses of the ingredients in Protandim, they did nothing, okay? They were not therapeutic at all. It was the combination that made it 18 times more powerful than the individual ingredients. That's why it's called Protandim Nrf2 Synergizer. Now, Washington State University did an overview of Nrf2 activation. This is bigger than Protandim. This is just the science of Nrf2 activation. May well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. So I ask you again, who could use this information if Nrf2 is the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine? I hope everyone you love, at least. Protandim Nrf1 activates that mitochondrial pathway. It's the energy, it's the runners of the cell. Right here, again, these plant-based ingredients work in synergy together to boost your mitochondrial function. And then lastly, as I mentioned, the NAD supports longevity, the removal of cellular waste, supports positive mood and motivation, healthy vascular system. It does a lot of things. And as we age, that sirtuin activity, so NAD activates the sirtuin activity, decreases. And so this wakes it back up. And it's all a combination of plant-based ingredients. Now, over here on the right, you'll see how to increase sirtuin activity. Now, you can do some caloric restriction, significant caloric restriction. I'm not really interested in that, but you could, and have an increase of sirtuin activity by 94%. There is a competitor out there, which is known to be an NAD activator. It increases sirtuin activity by 2%, but our NAD synergizer activates it by 100% within 24 hours. So that's the comparison there. And this is just a bigger graph showing that 94% caloric restriction, 100% Protandim NAD, 2% competitor. The combination of these three, if you can think back to that keep it simple slide I showed you, the tri-synergizer is combining all 3 of these activators to optimize your health. You're going to reduce your oxidative stress, support your mitochondrial function, and increase that sirtuin activity. You're going to combine them all together. And science shows that the combination of these 3 actually enhance the effectiveness of the other. So that's why people take them all together, because it just makes everything work better. Activation of our brain specifically. This is our Axio Smart Energy. And quite frankly, several years ago, they were looking at how can we attract younger entrepreneurs into this company? Because in your 20s, you're probably not thinking about looking younger, feeling younger, anti-aging, but they're thinking about energy. But a lot of energy stuff out there is really unhealthy. There's the Red Bulls and the 5-Hour Energy and the Monsters and things like that that these kids are picking up in 7-Eleven. How could we make this a healthy thing that people drink on a daily basis? So Axio is our brain food. It improves mental endurance, mental acuity, concentration. Have you ever had problems concentrating? Memory, enhances neurotransmitter function, resilience to stress. Have you ever felt like your brain was just stressed out, tired? So it reduces mental fatigue and brain fog. My favorite, increases positive mood. I call it my happy drink. It really does give you an uplifting feeling because it targets those parts of the brain. And lastly, my favorite thing about this, one of my favorite things, is that it comes in a caffeinated version. I love that before I do my Peloton ride in the morning or whatever I work out I do. I love that. It gives me a more physical boost. But later in the afternoon, when my brain feels a little more tired, I drink the decaf. So it's not going to keep me up at night. True science. I mentioned that LSU skin cancer study that was done. This is the topical formula of Protandim. It activates the Nrf2 pathway from the outside. Protandim Nrf2 does it from the inside. It's an inside-outside approach. So, of course, it's highly anti-aging. Again, I don't like to say that. It's a healthy aging, graceful aging product. It's a 4-piece regimen with a cleanser, perfecting lotion, and eye serum, which uniquely goes on the eyelids as well as underneath the eye, and then an anti-aging cream. And you'll see here on the top left, it has a green box on the Think Dirty app, which means it's clean for your body, it's clean for the environment, there's nothing toxic in there to harm you, and there's a lot of stuff out there that will. So always check the Think Dirty app. True science is the Nrf2 activation for this part, your scalp and hair. Now, I didn't really think about this much before this product came out. I didn't realize that salon shampoo and conditioner was actually toxic for my body. I didn't realize. So this is Nrf2 activating shampoo, conditioner, and a hair serum, which nourishes your scalp to support normal hair growth cycle. So it does increase the appearance of healthy hair growth, thicker hair, less breakage, less frizz. I love this product. It's scented with peppermint and thyme. So it's super clean, clean for your body, clean for the environment. Protandim is our activation for dogs. My dog's lying here next to me. She takes Protandim because dogs have oxidative stress. They are affected with all the same issues that humans are because of oxidative stress. And this is Protandim in a chewable formula. It also has stuff for their joints and has an omega all in one. So it's like a treat. We just break it up in her food. A few other things, this is not activation, but very, very important for overall health is your gut health. Most people are familiar with probiotics at this point, but they've been around for 60 years or so, but only popular maybe in the last 10 years. I know when I started in my fitness career, we weren't talking about probiotics, but really important for your immune system, for absorption of nutrients. And most probiotics, I didn't know this, actually die off in your stomach acids. Sad but true, but the stuff that you buy at the store, it gets killed off there and isn't really as effective as it could be. So our probiotic, what they did was add a patented coating called BioTract. It just protects it through that harsh environment of your stomach and gets time release throughout your gut. So, I mean, I noticed a difference when I started taking this and I was drinking like yogurt drinks and stuff like with probiotics. And I only noticed it helped me for a few hours. It reduced bloat that I was experiencing. And when I started this probiotic, that doesn't exist in my life anymore. So I could really tell the difference. And here you'll just see a graph with BioTract, 60% actually get to the gut, and without it, 4%. So 60% or 4%. I prefer the more effective route. The Omega Plus, another addition to your regimen for optimal health, supports your brain, your heart, your skin health. I mean, our typical diet does not get enough omega-3s and 7s, and we're usually deplete in D as well. So they combine it all together. The cool thing about this Omega Plus is that it's bottled within 8 hours, and you can trace the bottle to the boat the fish was caught on. So again, tying back to that transparency and knowing where your stuff is coming from, it's beautiful. And this tastes so good. There's no fishy taste. My 7-year-old chews this because he can't swallow pills yet. So he chews the Omega and we crush up the Protandim for him because he can't swallow that either in applesauce. And that's his morning regimen. Lastly, we have a weight management line. And I particularly love this Smart Weight Management Physique IQ, right? Because it's not just about losing the weight. It's about a lifestyle and utilizing tools to help manage a healthy weight long-term. There's a whey-based protein, super yummy, low calorie, high protein. There's a citrus-based fat burner. So if you are on a weight loss regimen specifically, you can use that for a few months or use that in conjunction with whatever else you're doing to boost your fat burning capabilities. And then the Prebiotic, it's a blood orange flavored drink. It's delicious. I prefer to drink it actually in the evening when I might be craving a little something. I'll actually drink the Prebiotic drink in the evening. It gives me a sense of satiety. So you can also drink it 30 minutes before a meal and it'll make you feel fuller. But it also acts like a mild cleanse. So it's just working with the probiotic. It's kind of like food for your probiotic. They work hand in hand. And so that's part of our physique system. This is where I'm going to talk a bit more about the opportunity, okay? And then I'll wrap it up at the end. But listen in whether you think this is for you or not. In every business, timing is the most important thing. I mean, if you can think about when you first learned about Facebook or Google or Apple or any big company out there, at one point you did not know about that company, but it existed. And that's when the smart investors were investing their money because they could see around corners. I invite you to see around corners here. We are at this little black dot of our momentum in our company. And as I mentioned, we were just on national television ringing the closing bell at the NASDAQ. So we're getting out there and it's just going to get faster and faster and faster. That's called momentum. And when I got a hold of this 6.5 years ago, this kept me up at night. Again, I didn't want to look back in 5 years and think, I could have done something. I could have done something to have that time with my family. I could have done something to create an extra income stream for when I couldn't work. Because I was on maternity leave when I started this. I had 0 income for about 6 months when I started this business. I wanted to do something. So this is the time to get in if you're thinking about it. How do we make money? We make money 6 different ways. Up front, we're in the business of expanding the network of consumers and distributors. That's just what we do. They take out the storefronts and advertising commercials. Our company just shares their profits with us. There's just no middleman. We get paid weekly, and I think we're moving to daily pay actually, where you get a 40%, 30 to 40% commission on all products moved through your business that you personally enroll through a customer or a new distributor. As you grow your business, then you will also start to get rewarded for new business partners joining the network. Okay, it's just going to roll right up to you, incentivizing you to reach down and help people. So one thing I see in this company is that there's a huge incentive and a culture to reach down and help the newest person become successful because it helps everybody. That every company is different in that regard. We also get paid monthly with what we call royalty commissions or leveraged income. It's an average of 5% return, just royalty income. And if you compare that to the interest rate at your bank account, you'll probably be pretty impressed with that number. It's as high as 9%. So we also get that monthly. We get paid on everything. We have a check match bonus program. We have a global revenue sharing program. When you get to the higher ranks in the company takes 4% of global revenue and shares it among all the leaders in the company. What that incentivizes us to do is, again, all work together collaboratively and reach down and help the newest people. So our training programs and the way we work together as a whole company is very unique because of this global profit sharing pool. And they also give you a Jeep Wrangler when you get to the higher ranks in the company. This is just a snapshot of our compensation summary because we are publicly traded. You can find this on our website at lifevantage.com. Scroll down to resources and look up annual earnings claim statement. I love to see this because not only will you see the monthly average of people at different ranks, you can see how much commissions here were paid out by the company. And what I want you to take a look at is that in this area right here, Pro 4, Pro 5, Pro 3, Pro 4, Pro 5, 6, most of the money is being paid out at these ranks where people are making somewhere between $600 and $6,000 a month on average. Okay, so that's telling you that people are getting to those middle ranks where that kind of income really makes a difference for people. We have a proven system to help you do it, so you don't have to recreate the wheel. This was a new thing for me when I came in, because when I started my private practice, I did have to do everything. I did have to create the marketing materials. I did have to build my website, which cost a lot of money. Everything is included. There's a system. We have an app that you can use that you actually can qualify to earn free customers from the company. We have regional and corporate trainings, and you can really work this business at whatever pace you want. I said to somebody the other day, it's like setting the pace on the treadmill. If you want to walk 1 mile an hour, you can do that. If you want to run 9 miles an hour, you can do that too. But we have a system to support you. You get the website included in your distributorship. You never have to pay for that again. And that's where customers and distributors go and enroll. You do not have to carry or sell product. It's all online. So you're falling in a couple different categories here. And just, again, this is where you'll think about, well, what will I say to the person that invited me to this webinar tonight? And then we'll wrap. You may be thinking, I'm just looking at the health benefits for myself at this point, or I want to try these products for myself. Great. Just remember, it's about activation. This will be activating your body in a way that you probably haven't done before. And it's getting to the root issues of dysfunction. And because if we're only treating the surface, everything's going to keep popping up, right? But when we get to the root cause, we can actually make a difference. And that's what you're going to do with activation. So here's a snapshot of our product line. We have our activators and our omega and probiotic in a combination pack there, the vitality stack. We have the tri-synergizer that I mentioned. And then you can add on from there. If you're looking to improve your skin, your hair, your pet, if you're looking for all of it, you can come in with a product pack actually, or even one of these, the larger stacks. It's called the ultimate stack. You get a great savings here where you get the vitality stack plus the NAD. So you get the tri-synergizer and the prebiotic there. And if you're thinking, not only do I want to use these products, but I want to share this information. Just think, would I invite somebody to get information on a webinar like this or another platform on the phone, maybe online, whatever it is, just consider what your plan is right now. Because I know that my plan was probably this 40 to 50 year plan. I didn't know any better. I didn't know about network marketing. I didn't know about side gigs and doing something on the side while I was working. I'm still $50,000 in debt from my undergrad and graduate degree. I'm still paying for that right now. It hasn't paid for itself. But when I jumped into Lifevantage, I personally made my money back in 6 weeks. I started sharing this information and I started learning a new way of doing business in addition to treating patients part-time. And started subsidizing my income, and then there was a swap. I was actually able to retire from my profession temporarily until I want to go back after 4.5 years. And that gave me the time freedom to be with my family, be available for my kids when they needed me, to do the things I wanted to do. I've been working since I was 11. It was nice to have a little break. But if we just have that opportunity to have not only our health early in life, but to have the freedom, the time freedom early in life, it's a game changer. So if that's you, you can come in with what is called a business pack. The person that invited you can give you a little bit more detail about this, but they're product packs that come with a significant savings in them. So even if you just like all the products, you want them all and you want to get the best price, this is a great way to come in too. But our gold pack and platinum pack, running $650 and $1250 here, will give you a huge savings. Over $900 in the gold pack and over $300 savings in the gold pack and over $700 in the platinum pack of product. So it's well worth it. You get a ticket to our global conference next October. That's going to help you be successful here. And this includes all the assets that you would not get in a traditional business. So again, thank you so much for being here tonight, for taking the time out to listen. This will be recorded, so if you need to send it out to anybody, you can do that. Just get back with the person that invited you, thank them, and let them know what your interest level is. Thanks, everybody.